Hey guys, I'm Mizzy, and this is the guide for Siegecrafter Blackfuse, the 12th encounter in the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. In this encounter you fight the boss and weapons he creates from a conveyor belt. Every 40 seconds 3 new weapons will appear on the belt and you can kill one of them off. When one dies, the other 2 become immune and will be used on the raid. When you go onto the belt, you will get a debuff that will prevent you from going on the belt again for 1 minute. This means you need at least 2 groups of 2 DPS to alternate going onto the belt. We went with 3 groups of 2 DPS however, because as soon as you get off the belt, you'll usually be facing crawler mines that you have to kill. This means if you have 2 groups, they won't really have time to use their cooldowns on the boss himself. When on the belt, you should always kill missile turrets if they spawn. Otherwise you should kill laser turrets or crawler mines, depending on what you find more annoying. We found laser turrets to be the more annoying of the 2. The first belt activates almost instantly when you pull the boss, so the first group will have to go into it straight away. You enter and exit the belt by going into pipes. The pipes for going in are at the southwest, and people should avoid standing there because of one of the boss's abilities and one of the weapons. While on the belt, you will also have to avoid the lava beams. Now with the belt out of the way, let's move on to the boss himself. The boss uses electrostatic charge on the tank, dealing 250k damage and giving them a debuff that increases damage taken from electrostatic charge by 100%. It also increases their damage done to targets with reactive armor by 200%, which will help the tank kill the shredder, which I will explain soon. We had our tanks switch on the boss at 3 stacks. When a shredder is killed, the boss will gain Protective Frenzy for 10 seconds, increasing his attack speed by 100%. This will require some form of a cooldown. Every 10 seconds or so, the Siegecrafter will launch a saw blade at a random player. They should try and get these as far away from the boss as possible. Shredders need to be tanked at least 35 yards away from the Siegecrafter due to automatic repair beam. This will heal any shredder that is damaged and within 35 yards of the boss. Finally, it should be noted that if no weapon is killed on the conveyor belt, the boss will gain Energized Defensive Matrix, giving him a 90% damage reduction for 20 seconds. So let's move on to the shredders. These will get summoned regularly by the boss and they will need to be tanked and killed by the tank with electrostatic charge debuff. This is due to the reactive armor reducing their damage taken by 80%. These shredders have 2 abilities, the first being Death from Above. He will jump into the air, slam back into the ground and then do damage to anyone within 15 seconds. Afterwards he will be stunned and take 200% extra damage for 5 seconds. The second is an ability which he regularly casts called Overload. This does 300k AoE damage and it will give him a stacking buff increasing overload damage by 30% per stack. This means that the longer the shredder is alive, the more damage overload will do. It should be noted that shredders can be damaged by saw blades, lasers and missiles, and the tank should use them to kill the shredder faster. The last thing we have to go over is what happens when the 2 remaining weapons from the conveyor belts become active. First of all, they'll be activated on the other side of the room. Laser turrets use superheated on random players and this needs to be kited. This is a beam leaving fire where it's kited. Missile turrets deal shockwaves first on the place on impact and then in rings around it. Should you not kill a missile turret, you will have to dodge these rings. Electromagnets will be your friends. They will pull the saw blades on the ground towards them, removing them from the fight. Do not stand between the magnet and saw blades though, as they will still hurt you when they move through you. The magnets also pull you towards them though, so you will have to keep running away from it until it deactivates. Lastly, the crawler mines will fixate on raiders, which if it reaches them will explode for 250k AoE damage. These will need to be killed. In the first minute of being active, they can be stunned, rooted and slowed, so make use of your control spells. Once you get used to the conveyor belt and dealing with the other weapons, you should be seeing a kill soon. If you liked this guide, please comment and subscribe. I'm Mezzy, and I'll see you again next time.